Well, everyone, I'm Dr. Lauren Cielo, and welcome to the Metaphysical Q&A MQA Live. So,
I'm Crystal Heinemann from Crystal Sunshine Psychic Services, and I'm creating a new platform called the Psychic Soul. So you can find me at both.
Excellent. Well, what this platform is supposed to do, it's supposed to bring our podcast right into your, I don't know, living room or car, or whatever you're watching it on. So, and it's a little bit different because we actually are gonna do some psychic readings based on the questions that you ask. And I don't know if any of you have tuned into my live stream on Monday mornings, but I don't answer questions. I just read something for everyone. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Snuggie. Hi. So what we want to do, of course, we're going to give you some information about our podcast. Crystal will tell you about the last one we just shot, how fun it was. If you haven't seen it yet, we hope you do. But start thinking about a question that you might want to ask us, and we'll be happy to answer it for you. So, Crystal, do you want to talk about our last podcast?
Sure, I'll talk about it. I could talk about anything. Yeah, everyone. So, of course, you all know that we're a podcast, right? We're a podcast. That's really what we originally started at, was a podcast. And if some of you don't know our history together, of course, is that, Lauren and I had so much fun playing together that we were like, what can we create? And let's do a collaboration. And of course, that's how we birthed Metaphysical Q&A. And it started as a podcast. And of course, it's branched out to teachings. So we're in season 2. And of course, season 1, it was just Lauren and I, trying to navigate our way, learning everything, learning platforms and all that kind of stuff, like learning our tech, if you will. And then now we're in season 2 and we are up and running and we are on like fast motion, man. We're just trying to keep up. And we had a new one released yesterday, and that's the Metaphysics of Witchcraft. Oh my gosh, Lauren, was that not the funnest one? Of course, all of our podcasts are great and our guests are so wonderful, but wasn't that so much fun shooting the Metaphysics of Witchcraft?
It wasn't, and that's what's so fun about this platform, is that we get to meet all these really interesting people. Crystal and I have our little information that we give, right? But we don't know everything about everything. So it's so great to have Jenna come on. And if you haven't followed Jenna Capri's work, she's the White Witch Parlor, if you haven't checked that out. So watch the podcast. You'll get her contact information. She's gorgeous. She's spiritual. She's smart. So she fit right into the Metaphysical Q&A podcast.
Yeah. And bless Lauren's heart that Jen and I got together, and we're 2 Aquariuses, and we're like, and bless Lauren's heart for just putting up with us.
I went like this, Crystal. I put my crystals up to my ears. It's filtering devices.
I know. You get me with one of my soul sisters and I can't stop talking. So anyways, Jenna's information is so amazing. And of course, just like all of our guest experts, it's the wonderful thing. And our experts do it just so naturally without us ever having to set them up for it. They always come in with some really interesting, tantalizing information that is something you haven't heard anywhere else. And it always, after a shoot, Lauren and I are always like, again, that just blew us away. So if you haven't watched Metaphysics of Witchcraft, it was released. It's on our YouTube channel, which is Metaphysical QA. And of course, it's audio and video. And we highly encourage you, viewing us, ranking us, comments. We love the comments. I've been spending a couple hours a day on Instagram and, answering everyone's comments on YouTube and Instagram. And then you can also find it wherever you get your audio podcasts, right? Like Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that good stuff. So we hope that you subscribe, of course. And we shot, like I said, we're up and running. So we really hope that you catch that one and let us know. We love your feedback, of course. And then, of course, yesterday we shot a new podcast. And so I have to go to the editing table, you guys. I'm about halfway there. And I did create a new trailer, so you could check that out. I'm calling them our sneak peeks. And our next guest expert is Emalani Malia, and she is a intergalactic expert, intergalactic being expert. So all of you that maybe it resonates with you to where you've, looked out in your backyard and you looked at the stars and you just wanted to go home. Well, you're going to find this information really, really interesting. So we got lots of great stuff. We've got a sound alchemist coming up. We have a health coach coming up. We've got aromatherapy coming up. We've got tarot. We've got wizards. We've got all
wizard. We got a wizard. I love that.
We've got so much stuff coming up. So, but again, we're so grateful for you guys.
We are. And so, as Crystal said, season 2 is all about inviting our friends, our old friends and the new friends we're meeting onto the podcast. Season 3 is we take it on the road. So if you want to invite us to your city or town, if you've got a group of like-minded people that might like to, just right in your face, we'll come to where you're at, invite us. We'd love to come in and shoot a podcast right there for you. So
yeah, or a live Q&A like this.
Exactly. And the best way to invite us is to go back to our website, metaphysicalqa.com. And on the top bar, I think it says, invite us. I think that's what the tab says.
It's kind of literal.
Well, Crystal, tell them our gratitudes.
Oh my gosh. Well, first and foremost, we're so grateful for you all. And, end of story. I can end everything right there. We're just so grateful for you all because we wouldn't have a podcast without your wonderful questions. And we get so many questions every single day. And we apologize if we cannot personally reach out to you in regards to those questions. But oh my gosh, we get so many amazing ones. So we're so grateful for your information. And really, I think speaking for Lauren, what we love so much is getting those questions, and it helps us learn and helps us expand. So every question we get from you essentially blows our crown chakras, and we are like, oh my gosh, we've got to figure this out. So we're so grateful for you expanding our space. And you all are so amazing, these multidimensional beings that coming to us with these amazing questions. So we're so grateful for you. And then of course, the other stuff, we're so grateful. Of course, I'm grateful for Lauren. I'm grateful for tech, but we wouldn't do this if we didn't have tech. But we've reached 13,000 downloads on our podcast. And so, of course, that's 13,000 of you that have listened. And of course, that number is growing and growing and growing. And it wouldn't grow without you all continuing to listen to us. So of course, hopefully a year from now, we're saying 1.3 million, or 130,000. But even if it's 13,001 next year, we're still so grateful for you. And also we got this great honor out of the blue that Lauren and I didn't even know existed. And that's the wonderful thing about life, right? And just like your questions, we're like, oh, I never thought about that. Let's look into it. We got this notification that YouTube rated us one of the top 25 metaphysical podcasts on YouTube. So worldwide. And that came out of the blue. We got a little badge and a little certificate. And so we're just super, super grateful to, the idea that Lauren and I can play. And most important, we get to interact with you all and we get to play for you. I don't know what more we can ask for.
That's right. And of course, the podcast is free. Crystal and I want to share the information that we have, but to pay us back, all you have to do is share, send it to your friends, right? Rank us, review us, like us, and every single platform that you're listening to us or watching us on, and help our numbers grow. And that's all we really ask. That's it. Except your questions. We need your questions.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Hey, Bobby. Hey, girl. All right. So a few more announcements, of course, before we get started. We have merchandise. Yes, we've got merchandise up on our website, metaphysicalqa.com. We'll be getting some t-shirts together and they're super, super fun. We also have online training courses. And I know Lauren was thinking about some sort of great special for you guys listening here live tonight. But quite honestly, as we hit sort of the tail end of season 1 of our podcast coming into season 2, a lot of the questions that were coming through were really encouraging us to create some training classes. So even though we go through your questions on the podcast, we have been getting sort of an overwhelming request to create training classes so you can work your space. They're really self-healing, quite honestly. They're self-healing tools. So if there's anything in your life, right, we're going to provide some sort of metaphysical tool for you to self-heal what's going on within yourself. And so we've created Metaphysics for You, Part 1. And I know Lauren was going to come out with a special for you guys. Metaphysics.
Just posted
it. You posted it? I think we're giving it away free. Am I right?
It's free. It's absolutely free. So it's 4 classes, 4 meditations. Is that right, Crystal? 4 classes and 4 meditations, right?
I'm saying sure.
I know. It's like we have been in a creative frenzy that we don't even know what we're operating. That's what it is. It's 4 classes, 4 meditations, and you have to take quizzes too.
The quizzes are super, super fun. Super, super fun. So I think it's normally $250, and so we're gonna give it away for you all tonight because we're so blessed that you all are coming in. And I know MQA Live took a while to kick off, so we're super grateful for you hanging out there. And then we created the Metaphysics of Archangels. And so that just is complete. And there's Archangel meditations in there. So there's lots of fun stuff. We're coming up with Metaphysics of crystals. And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say.
Yeah, I saw you took the big breath.
How come I got an echo working over here? You hear that echo?
I don't hear that echo. Do you guys hear that echo? Nope.
Okay.
I don't hear it.
Well, what I was going to say is the package that we're offering you is the first part to get into all of the rest of the training. So yes, there are metaphysics of guides and angels waiting for you after you take the first course for free. And you'll get to meet Hanel and Raphael. Who else did we done so far? Michael.
Ariel.
And more coming all the time. Now, once you sign up for that free package, when you do it, if you opt in to get our newsletter over on that side, every single time we put up a new product, you'll get notification. So you might want to think about jumping over there. And again, I've already posted the link if you can see it. Now, I did want to post this link too, to our super cool mugs. Hang on. Let me cut and paste over here. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jen.
I know I was just looking at everyone. Hi, Jamie. Got some great questions coming in. Snuggie to you. So yeah. Okay. Hey, Sydney. Hey, girl. Hi from Australia. Hi, Joe. Nicole. Susan, hey. Oh my gosh, Susan left the nicest comment in my Ascending Woman private group. You guys, if you're an Ascending Woman, if you're in a female body and you want to hop on over to my private group, Lauren's not included, unfortunately, because he decided to leave the female game.
I jumped ship.
But Susan, I'm so grateful for your lovely comment on the Ascending Woman. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it melted my heart. So, hey, Jamie.
And Susan and all of you who are in harm's way with the hurricanes right now, we'll send our guides to you right now. Maybe we might be a distraction to you from what's going on outside your house.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? Oh, I was so happy that, my father and stepmother, they live in Jupiter, Florida. So they were right, it was coming for them and then it bypassed. So I was so thankful for that.
Yeah, it's like all of us pushing it out into the ocean.
I know. I hope we could keep that up with South Carolina, North Carolina. I know my girl Bobby's in North Carolina. And of course, our MQAer, Ed Carlton, he's in North Carolina too. So, all right.
Glad you made it, Susan. thank you so much for all your continued support. All of you.
So wonderful. I know.
Well, you want to do a reading?
Sure. I just want to say welcome, Snuggie, being that this is your first time. And I love your kitty cat.
We'll be gentle with you and your kitty cat. This is your first time.
We're gentle to any fur baby parents.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys have noticed the credits. Tell them, Crystal.
The credits of it's in every detail, you guys. You guys, I was a private flight attendant and I had to pay attention to every little detail. So I'm sort of nutso when it comes to that. And on our sneak peek, our trailers, our little 1 minute trailers that tell you what's coming up for the next podcast, pay attention to the credits. I always, all of our animals are on there. And then of course, if we have a special guest expert, I always like to find out who their babies are and I add them to the list. This last one with Jenna, the White Witch Parlor, we have Benjamin Fox, her little 2-year-old son, her human baby, her Homo sapien baby. He directed us.
He was the director.
He was the director. Luna was like, I'm so tired of micromanaging you and Lauren. I am taking my director's hat off. I'm going to step back and be executive producer. Little Benjamin Fox can direct this.
So look at the credits. Read it and see the credits because all of the names are our pets.
So fun. It's so fun. And that's the fun thing, right, about this work is I used to live in, I know most of you, if you work in an office or, I had to work on a stuffy airplane, you're taught to really talk about your personal life or it's kind of it is frowned upon if you have, attachments to animals or children. So weird. And so it's so nice to be part of a family like this where you could be all inclusive because that's what it should be. I think, it all should be all inclusive. So that's my 2 cents.
All right.
Let's get on to some questions.
Yeah. Okay. So Brandy with a Y.
Hey, Brandy with a Y.
I haven't seen Brandy with an I yet, but she may be lurking. So let's see.
She'll be lurking. She just said hello. Are you
Brandy with a Y?
Oh yeah, go ahead. You run the show. I'm behind. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, the first one from Brandy is, what does my higher self want me to know? Now, Crystal, can you see her name? You can't see any of the comments, or can you?
I got it. I got it.
Okay, so you can see her name. Do you want to do?
I gotcha.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so Brandy, so when I say hello to your energy, okay, you're so cute. So thank you. Thank you for this. Of course, Lauren and I were able to read both in the earth plane and both, in the astral plane, essentially. So we read your earth plane body, which is your physical body that we're all interacting with right now. And then also the soul aspect of you comes in too, right? And so when I said hello to you, you just showered me with all of this self-love. And then so I saw all this beautiful pink around you and you were this gorgeous blossom that just sort of bloomed. And then right in the middle was this gorgeous, almost like the color of a bright sun. It was this beautiful yellow that was just perched within your self-love. And so when I put these two together, essentially that means, of course, that you're really running the energy of self-love right now. So this is what your higher self wants you to know, that you're running the energy of self-love, but how you're discovering your self-love is this little nugget of sun that's right in the middle. And that just means it's your soul's wisdom. It's your mental energy. It's really crown chakra information, right? It's that the way I say it is mental energy, right? It's sort of an air element. It's when it comes into your crown chakra where you just have the knowledge, right? You just sort of know. You have some sort of knowingness to it. So you're putting this mental energy towards your self-love. So really what that really means, I'm asking how this means what you're doing and what this means for you here on earth, what your soul wants you to know on that. Well, you're learning more about yourself. So you're essentially learning how to really self-care yourself, how to really self-nurture yourself. You're really learning how to love yourself more and more, but you're running a logical energy around it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were sort of setting back and being like, oh, you know what? That felt kind of good. Oh, you know what, Brandy, like, Brandy Human kind of likes doing that. Like I feel pretty revitalized. Like I feel like I'm filled with energy when I do that. Oh, and you know what? When I do this, it kind of makes me tired. So maybe I won't do that. So really just go with that energy, right? And that's really what your higher self wants to know, is that when you're coming up to this, you're going to be taking some mental points, right? Some checkpoints, if you will, and just sort of check in with your mind, body, and spirit. Like, and see how you feel within certain circumstances. How does it make you feel? Does it help you feel more self-love? Or does it help you feel, no, I don't know, kind of drained, fussy, right? Then you know that you're not going to want to go and do that. So really you're on the path of self-love. That's what your higher self wants you to know, is that you're learning the path of self-love. And honestly, if someone had told me that before, I would have been like, yeah. And it seems a little gimmicky now, but honestly, you can never love yourself enough, right? And it's really at your core. And the way that I see it, like energetically, is when your self-love vibrates, right? It's constantly growing, constantly expanding. If you figure it out from the core, right? And then it just emanates out to everything, right? And so it's ever changing, it's ever growing, right? You can never really fill yourself up with enough. And also your higher self wants you to know that you often self-sacrifice. So make sure that your cup is a runneth, right? Your cup is plenty. Otherwise, through your self-sacrifice, you tend to be drained. So really you're looking at things like that. That's what I got for you, Brandy.
That was great. That brought up a couple of things in my crown chakra. First of all, I'm just going to be honest, because I did jump from one team to the other, or in between maybe. For somebody who's been raised female to love themselves, you don't. You absolutely do not. And I'll tell you why. When you were told that all men are created equal, you just said, okay. You didn't say, wait a minute, that doesn't include me. And when they told you, oh, that means everybody. Okay, well, then why don't we say all women are created equal, and that means you guys too, right? So the conditioning has been, before you could even speak your native language, you were already programmed to be a secondary citizen. And that's why Crystal's program, Ascending Woman, I was talking to Crystal the other day, and I said, you know what? I don't know what self-love is. That is my challenge. I do not know what self-love is. It's a daily challenge.
Oh my gosh, it is a daily challenge. It is something that I work all the time too. And it's something that was what Lauren and I called covered in white, which means I was so unconscious to like the guilt and shame that I felt about being in a female body, and like the idea that, I only speak when I'm spoken to. I was raised in a household like that. There's so much, even when I say that, it feels like I've got hands on my throat. Like I can't even get those words out. And so it's so deep within us. It's something I work all the time, self-love. And I'll wake up sometimes and it's like, some mornings I'll be like, oh my gosh, I love myself so much. And then you feel so good. And then I walk by a mirror and I'm like, son of a... Or you see a picture and you're like, oh my God. And automatically you just go right down the spiral. It's something that is just, I read something really interesting last night. I was reading, I finished a book, an oldie but goodie, A Prism of Lyra last night. And they were talking about how life is just ebbing and flowing, right? And how the moon essentially, not as if it has a strong consciousness like Mother Earth or the sun, it's more a reflection of us. And it's a reminder of how we ebb and flow in life, right? That the moon affects the ocean's tide, right? And you could never, and I guess this is about higher and lower vibrations, pretty much everything, like self-love, self-hate, right? It's everything ebbs and flows. And so the moon is the reminder that life ebbs and flows. And it's a reflection of us, that you would never think to go to the ocean and try to hold high tide 24 hours a day. You could never hold high tide 24 hours a day. You have to have the low tide with the high tide. And I think that's everything in life, right? And that's so self-love too, right? You could have one fleeting moment, right, that you hold on to and you love yourself so much and you feel so good. And then just like the tide goes out, and you go right back to that like self-hate talk, right? And the lack and the self-worth, self-sacrifice, and
and the second thing about Brandy's reading that I wanted to comment on is about the self-love and the mental coming together. How often do you guys do this? Like, I've been telling myself the same story over and over about my ex-girlfriend, like what a biatch she was, right? Seriously. And
I've heard it, you guys.
Crystal, do you have 6 hours so I can bitch at you?
Anytime. I'll hear it again.
So I was just kind of rolling over in my mind, my stream of consciousness. It finally dawned on me after all these years, the terrible things I had said to her. I said the worst things to that poor woman. And all of a sudden I went, I want to say those things to my mother. And I was like, oh, now think of it. Of course, I've had that thought before. How many times you watch, a psychologist say, you're going into a relationship to heal the relationship, or you're going into intimate relationship to heal a relationship with your parents. So we all know that. But I got it. I energetically got it that time. So Brandy, as you're going through this pink and yellow phase, that's how it may feel here on Earth. The same things you're running over your head. Oh, I'm such a terrible person. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. So have fun with that.
Yeah. Good luck. Of course, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
We're on the journey with you. Trust us.
All right. You want to do another reading, my friend?
Sure.
Okay. So this is a newbie to us. Wait, hang on.
Jacqueline?
Yeah.
Hey, Jacqueline. Welcome to the MQA family.
Do you want to read the question and I'll read her?
Hey, yeah. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Hey, Jacqueline. Okay. So Jacqueline asks, how do I begin to heal past life traumas and cut those ties that no longer serve me so that I can fully step into my soul work in this life? And could this be why I feel somewhat in limbo? Does that even make sense? Yes, it makes sense, Jacqueline.
Well, you're like me, Jacqueline. I get to spirituality through logic because, you see, I was raised Christian, right? And there's nothing logical about that theology. It doesn't make any metaphysical sense, right? How could a deity create a bunch of things and then tell the things don't do one thing, don't eat from that one tree of, knowledge, can't have you that, and then cast you out? And then the only way that you can ever get back to that deity is if it incarnates part of itself in one of its creatures and the rest of the creatures kill it. So for me, it has to be logical. That's why I like metaphysics. And by the way, metaphysics means what's beyond the physics. And so that's where Crystal and I like to hang out, right? So Jacqueline, when I looked at you, I saw that you're trying to mentally understand the situation that you find yourself in here on Earth. And that's what excites Crystal and I. Because, see, we stumbled onto a teaching that does give us a mental understanding of where we find ourselves and how things work and how could they change. So I bet it's learning. Learning more. That's probably why you're watching us, because that's what we do. So let me see what else I get. So for you, again, however you see your spirituality in your past lives, it has to make sense to you. Now, I also got that the part of your past lives that you are pulling from right now are beneficial. So let's talk about that for a minute. Now, we all do this. We just do it unconsciously, like Crystal and I were talking about. That's one of the big things about this teaching, is to get you to be aware, to come out of unconsciousness. So what happens for all Homo sapiens when they're they're trying to do something here on earth that they have no life experience in. Like if I was going to try to, well, I was going to say dance ballet, but I did take ballet dances classes when I was little. Don't tell anybody, Crystal.
We're going to put it to the test. You're going to pirouette on over here.
But let's say that, okay, I'll just use another dance example. Let's say that I want to let's say I won dance classes to learn the flamenco. Okay, now the flamenco is super hard, right? Super philosophy, history behind the whole thing, right? Well, what I'll do without knowing it is I'll reach back into my Akashic or Akashic records and I'll start pulling from those past lives where my feet did what my head told it to do, right? So all Homo sapiens do that. And like I said, Jacqueline, when I look specifically at you, right now, the information that is coming from your records and sticking in your space, it is beneficial. Now, I'll send Ankiyaya, my healing master, and I know Crystal sends Sabu, her healing master, and we'll do it for you. Or if you'll allow our guides, they'll just start pulling. If there's any information in your field that from your other lives that is not serving, they'll remove it. And we'll also have them complete as much karma as they can on the astral for you. And that's probably more what you're really talking about. Because you see, what karma is, it's not what we all think that, you know, so if you do something bad will happen to you. What it is, it's an incomplete contract. It's a cycle that was started in some other life, and you didn't complete it then. And your higher self and the other person decided just to keep the contract there and bring it into another life. And that is non-beneficial because it keeps you beholden to an old contract. And I'll tell you what our spirits, our souls want. They want to do whatever they want, whenever they want, with whoever they want, as long as the other people are in agreement. They want it all, right? Not just a white picket fence, not just a husband, not just, you know, whatever you were taught was the dream or the perfect picture, the American dream, if you're in America. So yeah, we'll do it for you, but realize that you get to your spirituality mentally. It has to make sense to you. So let me just kind of check on this. Okay, it's going to take about 2 days for this healing to go on in the background, right? And let me see how it'll affect you once. And again, what we're doing is we're taking out all the old past life pictures that are not beneficial and attempting to complete as much karma on the astral as they can. Now, the way that'll affect you, you won't feel responsible as you feel now. When I closed my eyes, I saw your shoulders going, oh, it's like, oh my God, I can finally let the weight off my shoulders. So again, that would make sense because probably some of the things you're carrying on your shoulders are a result of old karma. So now maybe somebody in your life that you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't, you know, even though I don't like this person very much, I'm so worried about them. And, you know, I keep them in my life. That may not continue that way. So it's a great question. And you know what I love about the question, Crystal, is that it's about her spiritual development.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a great question, Jacqueline. Yeah, I saw you feeling like it was when you had asked, could this be why I feel like I'm somewhat in limbo? It just felt like you were sinking, that sometimes that you would just feel like you're sinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had a past life where you actually were drowning, because that's what you were showing me, sort of just like sinking within, like almost like quicksand, but it felt like it was liquid, just felt like you were sinking. And metaphysically, you guys, I mean, that was such a great reading, Lauren. Oh my gosh. And Jacqueline, what a great question. And metaphysically, you know, if this is something that, like Lauren was talking about, you know, past life trauma and, you know, the Akashic records and, you know, karma, which is just unfulfilled soul contracts, for you guys, everyone has the access, right? Lauren and I are not special to where, you know, have exclusive access. You all can take everything that Lauren just talked about and and say, I'm just going to simple down this term. Like for the longest time growing up, I had a huge fear of knives, and not within myself, but like if I could chop because I love cooking and I was one of those kids that always cooked. But if someone near me had a knife, I would start sweating and I would start getting like anxiety as a kid. And
Whoa.
I know, super intense. To this day, I don't like cooking with other people. Like I don't like anyone else being responsible of knives in my area. But I'm not afraid of them myself. So I know, obviously, I was killed by knife, right? Obviously. And I think it was here because I start to feel it here. Now, that is past life trauma that I've carried forward in this life. If there's something that you feel like that, like maybe when you go underwater, you get that is past life trauma, right? But all you have to do is just release it, right? Just what Lauren was talking about. If you don't have healing masters like Lauren and I, you have your highest and best guides and angels. All of you have access to this. Like if you see it, say hello to it. And that's the biggest healing. Whatever that trauma is, call in your highest and best guides and angels, have them say or maybe he's back. So metaphysically, that's how you can work that space, is to just let it go. Give it to your guides and let it go. That was a great question. Yeah.
Crystal, I went to the astral to get some of my past life information. Doesn't take long, folks. Doesn't take long.
That was so good. That was so good. Oh my God. I am dying. That was so good. Oh my God. That just made my night. That made my night. Great stuff. I'm glad you're back. Did you have anything useful from the astral? Okay.
I can dance the flamenco.
Okay, that I'm putting to test.
I could dance the flamenco in ballet shoes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Point. Oh my God, so good. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for Snuggie to you. Hit me.
Okay, Snuggie to you. How do you know if you are or have received a download from source? How do we know what the information is? Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh. Snuggie to you. You have a black cat and great questions. I just got angel bumps. Okay. So of course, I was looking at this in your space. Like, how do you know that you receive downloads? And then of course, I'm sure Lauren will take it to a broader perspective. But honestly, it feels like, okay, so you getting downloads, it's going to come to you in several forms. Okay. Your crown chakra, which we've got our seventh chakra right here. It's like a spinning tornado, if you will. And it's this right here. And it's really your connection to source. It's your connection to all that is, right? All that is greater. It's also your knowingness. And it seems like for you, like it's wide open. And so when you get direct downloads from source, it looks like there's a direct connection and it comes right into your crown chakra and it kind of comes down your spine and like feeds like your energy channels, and it feeds all of your appropriate chakras and sort of just places it where it should be or where is most beneficial for you. But you're very claircognizant, which means that all of a sudden you just know things. And so you may not be right. You may be unconscious to it right now, but you do just know things. All of a sudden you'll just get a thought and you're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? So for you, a direct message from source comes in this way. There's also another way that it comes into your energy field is it seems like as it's coming into your crown chakra, it seems like it does come through here, right? But depending on like what chakra the information is related to, you're going to feel it. And the way that you feel it, Snuggie, is like it comes in, like the download comes in and it feels like, when you get chills where it's like, I call them angel bumps or spirit sparks, or when you get cold, you get, goosebumps. But, sometimes that surface, this feels like you get like a temperature change. And I think it's chills. It may come in little heat where you feel like it's from the core out. And it happens so quick. Like those spirit sparks, those angel bumps happen so quick. And you'll know the difference because it's from the inside out. And it literally happens that quick. It's like, like this, and all of a sudden you're filled, and you'll know you got a download from that. And I think that's when you feel that, it's a heart chakra download, and it's something that's really coming into your heart space, because you have a lot of love to give, Snuggie. And so that's how you personally know that you're getting downloads from source, is you just know, all of a sudden you just know something, like you just got that information and you just know it. And then you also feel things. So you're going to feel energy, because energy comes to us in so many different facets, right? We've got so many extra sensories that it's not just, you just know, right? It's everything. You feel it. That's the beautiful thing about ESP, is that you open up all of your extra sensories. So that little spark, that angel bump, that's a download coming in. You just got a message from spirit that you have to translate yourself, right? And how you translate that is really, you just sort of, when you feel that, just take a moment. Like, what was I thinking about just then? What was I thinking about? And that's it. Or maybe all of a sudden a song's going to play, and you're going to be, and you listen to the words and you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I was trying to like work this entire time. Spirit talks in ways like this. And so it's very extra sensory. So paying attention to those little subtle extra sensories. But for you, that's how it's going to hit. Do you have anything to add metaphysically on a broad perspective, Lauren?
Of course I do. Well, the first thing is that's one reason why people, I'll just say, like Crystal and I, we spend a lot of time alone so that we can hear ourselves think and go, what was that? Yeah. So too much stimulation from people, or, music with words and, all that kind of stuff. It makes you unconscious. It seems to be a kind of a topic tonight of how the information is coming to you. And then also I wanted to say this. There's a thing in our teaching called a growth period. And when you are getting a bunch of new information and your soul vibration is rising and it tries to get into your body, like every morning when you wake up, body gets pissed. But body's like, look, I don't know how to run this. So if you're getting a lot of downloads, all of a sudden you might get, like you're working on your spirituality, and you're trying, then all of a sudden you just have 2 weeks where you're just mean to everybody. You just hate life. That's a growth period. So don't think, oh my gosh, I'm trying to open up to all this stuff, and now I got the flu. I'm crying all the time. I want a divorce from the world. Those are growth periods. And basically what Crystal and I do through our growth periods is we just keep reading. We just keep running our energy. And I guess our bodies are getting used to it, I guess might be a way of saying it. I know a lot of my students in my clairvoyant over on the Golden Rose side, and probably like Crystal's over on her side, I almost said kids, the students get sick. They get a cold in the first month of training. So, I guess just don't be discouraged. If you're doing a lot of energy work, really opening up with your intention that you want to receive more information, well, just realize you might do it so well, you might throw yourself into a growth period. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got one more thing to add. Snuggie, yeah. I hear automatic writing for you as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, now that I think is, I think a lot of people think that is just having a piece of paper in front of you and all of a sudden you just start free writing, like someone takes over your hand and it just goes. It's really about sitting down and with your thoughts and you physically, putting pen to paper essentially. So I think maybe journaling or something like that. But I think automatic writing, you get messages from source into that too. So that's what I had to add. All right. Are you ready for Audrey?
Yes, I am. But no question, just a read, right?
Yeah, she just wants a reading. So Audrey Antler, she would love a reading.
Okay, Audrey, right now there's a lot of information coming into your crown. Isn't that funny? But it's coming from the sides. It's funny, we were just talking about downloads. What it looks like to me is there's actually energy moving through the part of the world where your body is sitting. So it's not coming up from the earth and it's not coming down from the cosmos. It seems to be like a current running in between the earth and the heavens, right? It's like, so in other words, you're standing there and it comes right at you and hits you like this right on the side of the head. Now, let me see how that affects you. This is strange. Your eyesight. Isn't that funny? Your eyesight. So if you have like blurry vision or you get, don't think that your eyesight's failing. It'll pass. But, maybe you might get what do they call it, Crystal? A sty in your eye or something like that. Okay. Yeah, but that's what I got is when the energy hits your crown chakra, it may affect your vision for a little bit. Now, let's see what this is. Hang on. There's a guide that wants to come in on this for you. His name is Stalin, like Stalin, I guess. It's spelled like the Stalin we know here on the earth plane. And he... you know what he looks like? It's so funny. He looks like like you're in the shampoo bowl, like big hair, and he's doing his hands like this in your crown chakra. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to help this energy that's hitting you to be integrated in beneficial ways for you. Now, let me see what the energy actually is. Hang on. It's new information about spiritual connection. It's new, yeah, and it's lavender. So let's talk purples for a minute. When I see a really dark purple, it says back to me spirituality. So in other words, when I see spiritual energy with my third eye, it looks purple. And then sometimes it's lavender. And what's so interesting to me about lavender is what it does is it makes it if you're running lavender, no longer can you tell the difference between what is spiritual and what is not spiritual. You're just living your spirituality. And I'll give you a couple ways to do that. Gratitudes, right? Gratitude being you're scrambling your eggs. You're grateful for the grocer, for the person that delivered the eggs, for the ranchers, for the chickens, for the sun and the earth and the water and that raised the chickens, right? So that's one really easy way to stay in your spirituality. And I'll tell you another one that I use a lot. Why would you sit and meditate for 2 hours? Right. And then get up. And the very first thought you have is, oh, my gosh, I'm so stupid. I forgot to feed the cats. Right. So the first thought you're going to have after doing this 2-hour meditation is one of self-hatred. So I know Crystal does this, too. We try to use our tools in real time. So if I'm having a thought that I don't like, I have a way to get it out. And guess what that way is? It's those free classes we want to give you.
I love that. I've got something to add, Audrey. So real quick, it looks like you're trying to sum up you're trying to make sense of what kind of healer you want to be. So whether that means that you're a healer professionally, or what Lauren and I say a healer really is just you're shifting people's space, right? You are shifting other souls' space. You're just creating a change for someone to come into your space. So you've got a lot of like energy swirling, and it feels like it's swirling around about trying to find your place about what type of healer, what kind of healer you want to be. So I'm going to send Sabu, my healing master, out to provide you just some clarity into how you want that to play out here on earth. Maybe like, for instance, a healer can be just walking across the street and sending a smile right to a stranger, right? You completely were that stranger's healer because you shifted their space, and all of a sudden they're going to have a wonderful day, right? Or you could flip someone off and you can really shift their space to a really crappy day, right? So either way, you're their healer. So whether this is something you're trying to figure, I think you're trying to figure it out, like whether it should be anchored into your professional life or maybe anchored into just like in passings like that. So let us know. All right. What do we have next?
Shalina? I think Shalina's up. You ready? You going to roll with it?
Yeah, I'm rolling. Go. Hit me.
Yeah. It's another higher self, another higher selfie. This is in what direction would my higher self like me to head towards next? I have a couple of options that all interest me, just not sure where to focus.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. So Shalina, what a beautiful name. Okay, well, you're showing me all pastels. And so, and of course, Lauren and I, every reader has different styles, right? And every reader has similarities. So that's like the really fun thing about this work. So whenever I read something about like pastels for me, it means that everything's sort of like soft, right? But if it's like really vibrant colors, it means like it's going to be a little bit more intense, if you will. And so I feel like you've got a really great, that you have great options. I'm seeing two, in fact. And one is, I just want to make sure I got your question right. Okay, so one that I see too, and one has this really beautiful, lavender, but for me, it's a little bit different. It is about your spirituality, but it means that it's very soft. Like it's very much sort of like you're sort of skipping down this path, and it seems to have like almost like an arch that you're sort of skipping under. So it feels really good. And now spirituality, of course, it's one of those goofy words, right? About like, I don't really know how you could ever define what spirituality is because it's so individualized, right? My spirituality is completely different from Lauren's, and it's going to be completely different from you. And for me, it's really about like, where do you go when you go within? Like, where is your connection to all that is and all that is greater? And it seems to be, for me at least, like, where do you go when you close your eyes and like go deep into yourself? Like that seems to be what spirituality is for at least when I work with my guides. And so what that means, of course, this path that you're sort of skipping along and it's running this really beautiful lavender soft spirituality is, of course, it's going to bring you, no matter what it is, it's going to help you connect and really help you start connecting with all things that are greater. And I love seeing something like that because to me, that really shows you're stepping into your authentic self. Because when we step into all things greater, we really tend to step more into our authentic selves because we are all one, right? And we all are one that is greater. So that's one path, and that looks really, really great. And that seems to be like on the higher road, if you will. Like that seems to be raised a little bit. So I think you probably do this route. And then the other one that I see, it actually has that mental energy about it too. So it's probably a lot more logical, like it's probably a lot more earth plane, if you will, where maybe this one's a little bit more ethereal, maybe perhaps. And so this one, and I am seeing it like this. Now, I don't think that you can go wrong, and I don't believe in wrong. And I know Lauren doesn't believe in wrong, right? We're all just experiences. We don't believe in good or bad, right? Or higher or lower, right? It's just a matter of it all is. But that's just the way you're showing it to me, that this one that is allowing you to really become connected more to spirituality seems to be up here. And this one that is connected to your logical side, so it's probably more earth plane related, it's a little bit down here. But again, you can't go wrong. You really, it looks like they both end up at the same place. So no matter what way you take, sorry, you're still going to end up with the same experience. So let me see what that is. You're just trying to be happy. You're just trying, like you show me, and the whole thing looks pretty happy. You're just trying to find your happiness from within. And for you, it's within and then out. And so it's like they kind of like here, and then here's the path, and then they meet up. They both come up and meet here at this point of really what makes you happy in life. So either choice that you have out in front of you, you're still going to end up at the same point. So this one, it's just going to be more logical, more earth plane stuff. So whatever, I'm sure you know whatever that one is. And then the other one seems to be a little bit more light and a little bit more eye-opening, more awareness, if you like. But they both look really, really great. So you're good. That's what I got.
I love it. So I want to share with all of you how I feel I would know my next step here on earth, right? Dumb Homo sapien, right? It's a meditation that I started doing about 5 years ago. You know how we all do when we're self-healing. You'll go, oh, these crystals are really helping me. I'm going to do that. Oh, these essential oils are doing it now, right? And then they fade away, right? So, I was noticing that, like all of us do, that something works for a while and then it doesn't. And so I told Anki Yaya, I said, you know what? I just want to have faith in myself that whatever I do or whatever I don't do is what those contracts say, right? So, of course, we always push things to the extreme. A serial killer contract. There has to be serial killer contracts, or there would be no serial killers or victims of serial killers. So if I had a contract to serial kill, I want to be the best serial killer I can be. I want to love it. I want to desire it. I want to wake up every morning and get pulled towards my contracts. So I sit this little meditation. I call it my faith meditation, where I ask Auntie Yaya to set each chakra to 2 different energies and have those energies woven so tightly together that I can't tell the difference when I'm inside of Lauren, right? I wake up, I'm inside of Lauren, I'm reading all of Lauren's information. So the 2 energies are the highest good of all and my soul's contracts. So if I, like Crystal was saying, if I meet you on the street and I smile at you, and that's what the contract was supposed to be. If you walk by me and I'm all grumble, 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 I want to have faith that that's what the contract is that we signed. So, maybe think about that. Because again, in this teaching, there is no good or bad. No, it's just Homo sapiens having adventures so that the higher selves can, we're like sensory organisms. These things, they're sensory organisms, feeding back information right to your higher self. So why suffer? If you're going to be a serial killer, be a great one.
Well, we do know that she's going to find her joy at the end of it, whether she's a serial killer or a love maker or a candlestick baker. I don't know.
All right, where are we, Crystal? Do you
want to do one more? I've got Nicole. We had to go up a little bit because everyone was sending us so much love. So I had to go up to Nicole Vojkovic from New Zealand. And she just wants a reading if possible.
Oh, okay.
You want to do one more? Yeah.
Yeah. Did I do that? No, I talked. Let me take a peek at Nicole. Right. Hang on. Let me get my crystals here. So Nicole, I want to talk to you about your crown chakra. We all have rings in our crown chakra. That's why during the Renaissance, the artists started painting angels with rings over their heads, because there are rings in our crown chakra. There's 3 of them. They're called creative rings. And right when I closed my eyes and I looked at you, that's what I noticed. The one in the middle is called the personal power ring. And the one above and below, they kind of change off what they do to support the personal power ring. So it's a little one, a big one, and a little one. So that's what I noticed the most about you. You know what, Nicole, if it resonates with you, would you email us? I would like to teach you about your creative rings. I want to create a little meditation for you that will show you how to activate them. You won't want to do it out in everyday life, but you want to do it in your meditation space. So there wasn't a specific question, right, Crystal? I was just supposed to.
No, she just wanted a reading. Yep.
Yeah. So Nicole, send me an email, info@goldenrosepsychic.com. And we'll hook something up where I can talk to you. It's just super easy, but I think you're going to love it. I mean, I think you're going to really love it. So I'll let Crystal comment now.
No, I don't have any comment, actually. I think that was really good. I just sent Sadhu in to sort of do some healing in her creative ring. So I think you're going to love that too. I love it. Yeah. Excellent. Do you want to, our lovely Susan Rebecca May, do you want to do one more question for Susan? Yeah, me too. Okay, me too. Now she says, but I'm not sure what this is. What is, and it's an acronym, what is LOA in these teachings? LOA in these teachings? And how does it affect our contracts? I don't know what that is, though. Do you know what that is?
No.
We'll let you know, Susan.
I think it's an energy.
Oh, is it voodoo?
I see that too.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up. Loa are the spirits of the Haitian voodoo and Louisiana voodoo.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
A god in the voodoo cult of Haiti.
Is that what it is?
Or is it law of attraction? It may be law of attraction. Susan, let us know, and we'll both get back to you.
Everybody.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. We didn't want to let you go, Susan, but it may be law of attraction. Maybe that makes more sense. I'm so down with the Louisiana voodoo, you guys. My dad's from New Orleans. I'm like, let's talk voodoo, voodoo. But I think
it is law of attraction.
I think she means law of attraction. Yeah, and how does it? That makes more sense.
We'll tell you how manifestation happens in this teaching. What a Homo sapien does to create something is it's possible to create an image of you already having that and to push it out into the stream of images that's making this fake world that you live in. Now, once a Homo sapien does that, it is able to push it out. What it's really trying to do is to get its higher self's attention, the writer of contracts, right? Like, so I want a red sports car. So I'm going to, in my mind's eye, create an image of me. Not Crystal can't be in the passenger seat because she may not want to go for my ride, right? So I can only put me in it, and then I push it out. And I'm hoping that my higher self sees that shiny object and goes, oh, you know what? I've got a contract right here. The next time you go to Gaia to shoot another show over there, instead of the limo, they're going to rent you a red car. I can take that image and stick it right on this contract like a Post-it note. Lauren, get ready for your red car. So we don't really think of attracting things. We push them out and try to get our higher selves attention. So I don't know if I answered the question, but.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to take a peek at Susan to see what that means for her and how you're manifesting in your space. And really, it's about manifestation, isn't it, Susan? That's really what I think that you're getting at, is really about your manifestation space. Now, when I put your energy up as far as like manifesting and what law of attraction means for you, as far as like getting things out, like what Lauren was talking about, getting them out into the stream of consciousness, the beautiful thing that you showed me was it was you right here and then looking into a mirror. And so then I asked, like, well, what are you showing me? And essentially what that means is that for you to be in your optimum manifestation is you see yourself as already having it. You see yourself essentially in this mirror, and it's going to reflect back what you're trying to manifest. So it's like, if you can always imagine like a mirror, and so it's here, Susan, right here. And then you're going to project onto there essentially what you're trying to manifest, and it's going to come back to you. Like, that's what you're showing me. It's super, super clever. And then Sabu, my healing master, shows me that it's just like a flame, like it's rapid for you. So you are a rapid manifester. You can manifest very quickly. So it's just a matter of, that could be your technique, is what Lauren was talking about. And I'm sure we'll send you some stuff. You know, we both have stuff on creating out there. And so if you can see yourself, but just you in it, see yourself already in that energy, already having it, and then you send it out there, it happens very, very quickly for you. So you're a great manifester.
Crystal, what came up for me when you were saying that is you and I are both doing the manifestation thing, right?
Yeah, we are.
I'm trying to find the link that you posted, but I can't.
I know what it is. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you for saying that. And that came into my awareness, and then I forgot. Lauren and I have been asked to be part of this amazing virtual retreat, and it's happening September 15th or 16th. I think it's September, maybe 16th through the 26th. And the website to register is manifestingmagic.net. So just go to manifestingmagic.net and you'll sign up. And there's over 25, experts. Lauren and I are both, and we're all talking, and we're doing it separate. We both have separate workshops that we're guiding, and we're talking about manifesting. So it's free, you guys. Manifestingmagic.net. And the host is Steph Jensen. She's going to be on our podcast. So look for her in the next couple of months. She's a great health coach. And we're there's going to be all these healers talking about how to manifest. But for you specifically, Susan, see yourself already in that energy of having it, and you've got it. So
what was the website again, my friend?
Manifestingmagic.net.
All right. Just posted it. So you guys jump over there. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff for you guys.
So much. Oh my God. It's like human design. I don't know if you guys have dove into human design yet. Both Lauren and I are projectors. So if you all are speaking our language, there's going to be someone there talking about that. Like I talk about chakras. Lauren talks about like stream of consciousness. There's like I think Alex might be a guest. Like there might be numerology. There's yoga, there's crystals, there's, I think Emalani might be a hypnotist expert. There's tons of stuff out there, you guys. So manifestingmagic.net.
Okay. So of course, you know that Crystal and I, collaborate on the Metaphysical Q&A podcast, but we both separately have our own. This is what it really is. At our separate businesses, we do readings and we teach people how to read. But here it's metaphysics for everyone, for your daily life. So what, Crystal, you've changed your platform. You want to say that again?
Oh, the psychicsoul.com.
Psychicsoul.com. Mine are goldenrosepsychic.com. And LaurenCielo.com, of course.
Yeah. You can find me at crystalsunshinepsychicservices.com, and you can find me at thepsychicsoul.com. I'm creating a platform for all sorts of light workers, so it should be pretty interesting. And then, of course, friend us here on Facebook, but that's exactly it. We're available for private one-on-one sessions. We do have a separate business apart from each other, and then we collaborate here. We love collaborations with everyone, but we do private one-on-one sessions with our personal clients. And, we do mentor sessions, we do psychic sessions, we've got packages. We both teach psychic development in our own programs. And that's going to be the psychic development program. It's very self-healing, but it's also learning how to heal others too. But in learning how to heal others, you self-heal. There's so much to the program that you can never even express into words. It's just so, I've had students that, heal themselves from their ailments, go off like bipolar medication, antidepressants, there's so much. And of course, that's not a medical statement, but there's so much that happens within that program that's so deep and so self-healing. And it's such a beautiful journey. So we both teach those in our separate platforms. And whether I'm your teacher or Lauren's your teacher, it's all such wonderful information. And we're just happy to be of service and, happy to help you happy to be along your journey and you discovering, your authentic self. So
maybe share us with 5 new people.
Oh, I like that.
A 5-person challenge.
Oh, I like that. I like challenges. That'd be great. Yeah, I love it. We're just here to be of service and, help everyone find their way, because navigating life can be pretty hard. And I know Lauren and I both have gone through some ups and downs, and just like you guys, and I didn't have, anyone to really guide me. So I was, a salmon stream swimming upstream.
I feel like the penguin, when they're all hesitating to get in. So I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I went and they all stayed on the astral. I'm like, what? What the heck?
Okay.
Yeah, but you came 13 years late.
It just took some convincing, okay? It just took some convincing. I saw you flailing out here, and I go, Jesus, I got to go in.
So funny.
I got to go rescue.
Thanks, Crystal. Thanks for playing with me again. When I got ready to sit down, I told the kitties, I get to play with Crystal tonight.
I know. Same with Luna. She's been nudging me underneath my desk. If you all could have a view of the outside world, outside of the cameras.
Yeah, I've got 2 cats right over there. They're like this, like, it's so hot.
That's nice. I've had a big bulldog head in my lap, just like depressingly looking at me. So, Mom.
Wrap it up.
Mom.
Well, thank you to everybody that spent some time with us. We know your time's valuable. We love you very much. And again, this happens on the first Thursday of every month now that we know what we're doing.
It took a while. Listen, we're just here having an earth experience. It takes some time sometimes. All right, everyone. We love you all so much. Intergalactic Beings comes out 2 weeks, and don't miss out on Metaphysics of Witchcraft. It's a hot one.
It is. Bye for now.